Well, no matter what Felix does, it's almost like whack-a-mole, you know. But such are the trials and tribulations in the pursuit of power. So, and let me see if I get this right. La Ultima Frontera, I think, is how you pronounce it. It's over for Falcon, or Falcon, I guess. You know, the gay Cuban guy that they had made a deal with earlier. Now got to screw over, and he starts hitting Rafa's operations. Rafa wants him hit back, and all this is all falling apart. It's getting in the way of what Felix is trying to do to, achieve the ultimate power, where he can finally relax and enjoy what he's created. It's never gonna happen, but it's a nice dream, I guess. So, meanwhile, Kiki has managed to sneak in, and I don't know if this is how that worked or whatnot, but he's able to copy down Miguel Felix's financial records and whatnot, and to understand that they get his American lawyer, or was he? Yeah, I think he was a lawyer. Anyway, they catch him and turn him in order to set up a trap for Felix, and it almost goes down. But Felix has managed to make his case enough with the political power base within Mexico, at least with some of them anyway, and they're able to warn him off right at the last minute. And he's right at the border, and then it all fails, and they're like, "Oh, damn it, we had him!" And Kiki at this point is pretty frustrated, and he said, "All right, I'm gonna go home." And if only it had been that for him personally, it would have been much better, because in a lot of ways, when you consider the overall drug war, Kiki Camarena was just too good of a guy, for that dirty, filthy, nasty war. So at this point, he's thinking, well, he gave his best shot, and everywhere he turns, he's shut down, and that sort of thing. And so Isabella sees her chance. She wants a bigger a seat at the table, and she's trying to get through Felix, and she's tried romancing him and whatnot. Now she's making deals so she can quiet down Falcon if Felix promises her a bigger piece of the pie there. Well, she goes through all this, actually gets him to come to some understanding for it, and then, well, the cops show up and murder him. So another deal was already struck. So whatever promises Felix made her is obviously going to be now null and void. But probably shouldn't piss her off, but well. So that moves into Felix seemingly achieving what he set out all along. So he becomes the boss of bosses, Jefe de Jefes, in the next episode, And meanwhile, Rafa is still a problem, even though he managed to save him. Oh boy, he just didn't learn his lesson, and of course, he's become a total drug addict, and it's just increasing his psychosis, and his obsession with Sophia, and not seeing her for the piece of trash. It was just an obsession. It's not really love and all of that, otherwise she wouldn't be running around with other men, including, I think he's Neto's cousin, or is he a brother? I'm forgetting now. Look, it's a lot. It's an ensemble cast. There's a lot of guys running around. But Amado is pretty important. You can't just kill him, but Rafa wants to now because he was flirting around with Sophia. Whether he banged her or not, I don't know. Maybe I guess he did, or was about to anyway. And he's like, "Hey, what the hell? She's just a slut. Who cares?" But Rafa's all obsessed and everything, so he loses his shit, shoots up a disco and all this stuff. So he doesn't want anything to do with him. He loses his shit again elsewhere and ends up killing 2 American tourists just because they're there, because he's so paranoid. He assumes they're spies from the DEA and all that. He's just out of complete control, and it's obvious who you need to eliminate, unfortunately. Yeah. Too bad, he was a really good gardener when it came to marijuana, but and everything else, he was a bit of a screw up. So, meanwhile, Felix is still building everything. And Isabella is left out in the cold as predicted, and so she's upset, and I'm thinking, I don't know, but that looks like that could be a mistake on Felix's part. But in the meantime, his wife has suspected him of affairs, and I mean, it wasn't depicted that he had affairs. Obviously I would have thought, yeah, Isabella would be the mistress. But he never consummated anything with her like that. And then there's these other women that his wife goes and finds, and she discovers because she went back to return a gift or exchange it or whatever, and discovered that he had already bought other gifts. She's like, what the hell? And so I guess he did. It just wasn't depicted. And there's a woman who's pregnant and all this. So here he's so full of himself and his power that he's now really forgotten his wife. They have a confrontation. He reins her back in, promises to return home with her, and you can run this from there and all that. And in the end, he's not going to give it up, because he could leave all the girlfriends and whatnot, but he's never going to leave his true mistress, which is power. And she's nothing compared to that. He's never going to give it up. And that's the sad situation that she's in. I mean, she was enjoying the nice houses and stuff, but, the price is really, really high, So there's that. That's another woman he's screwed over. So he's making enemies where he shouldn't, In the meantime, he's finally managed to achieve the level of power to make him more untouchable. And Nava is pissed off that he's managed to carve out all of this without consulting him and all this stuff. And Nava's and the thing about Nava and other characters we've seen here who are so full of themselves with the power they've amassed, these are obvious lessons for Felix, but it doesn't look like he's learning them, because he's so bloated on his own power, he thinks he can keep tormenting Felix like that. And Felix finally reaches his limit and just murders him right there in the hallway, in front of Nava's number 2 man. I'm forgetting his name now, the guy with the mustache and all. But he and he just turns around and walks away. Because Felix has achieved this status now with the organization that he's set up, and it's too valuable. So that's too bad about Nava, but he shouldn't have shot his mouth off like that. And that's it. So, but there, the lessons in the pursuit of power and why it's a Faustian bargain every time is certainly what is happening to Felix here. Yeah. So, meanwhile, poor Kiki is being drawn back in because there's another opportunity, and well, yeah, it's not going to go well. So, and of course, because he is this noble, heroic man, and he's got this family, and his wife's devoted, and it's all rather sweet and beautiful, which makes it all the more heartbreaking of what the inevitable fate is for Kiki. So, rolling right along, fascinating series, and well done. I guess they just, and a lot about Felix is his pursuit and his genius and how he's playing this game and weaving around the maze and the death traps everywhere, that the idea of the affairs just wasn't fleshed out per se. I mean, it's just you go through the wife to discover that he had done this. I guess I'm not certain exactly, but the show's too good. I'm just going to give him a pass on that and say, well, that's just how they handled it, So anyway, there we go. We're moving right along, and we only have 3 episodes left for the first season of Narcos Mexico. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.